Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Our story here is regarding the left calling Elon Musk a racist for purchasing Twitter. No, folks, I'm not kidding, but should we expect anything less from the left? I mean, anytime they don't get their way and they get all upset because something goes against their narrative, they go out in the streets, start shouting racism, white nationalists, white supremacy, they're holding me down, all sorts of stuff. And now they're targeting Elon Musk for purchasing Twitter because he wants advanced free speech. Now, before we jump into this article here, as always, folks, if you want to support us here at the Bald Brad Show, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Share this link with your friends and family all over social media. And with that being said, let's get to the big news of the day, and then we'll jump into the racism. Elon Musk has entered into a definitive agreement to buy Twitter for $54.20 per share in a cash transaction that is valued at approximately $44 billion. Now, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He has hundreds of billions of dollars. But folks, this is what we call FU money. Now, a lot of times we say people don't do a great job of spending their FU money. Let's be honest, this is like the epitome of spending that kind of cash and literally saying FU to the left, to the woke mob for going against free speech. I love the way he's doing this. All for Elon, and I'm all for free speech. Well, it goes on here to say the stunning announcement comes weeks after Musk, the billionaire CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, criticized Twitter's dedication and adherence to the principle of free speech. Since then, he purchased a 9% stake in the company and received an invitation to join Twitter's board before ultimately rejecting that offer. On April 14th, Musk made best and final offer to purchase Twitter outright, paying a 54% premium over what the stock was valued at that time. Twitter has now taken the deal, which is a smart move by them. Quote, the Twitter board conducted a thoughtful and comprehensive process to assess Elon's proposal, and with a deliberate focus on value, certainty, and financing, the proposal or proposed transaction will deliver a substantial cash premium, and we believe it's the best path forward for Twitter's stockholders. And I absolutely agree. Twitter stock has gone through the roof now that Elon has bought this because people understand that the company is going to be back to where it was in the first place with allowing free speech. But if you ask the left, folks, the left are saying, oh, well, you know, he's just promoting racism. He's promoting white nationalism, which we'll get to in a moment here. And you have Jen Psaki in the podium, the White House press secretary, saying that this is just another way that they're going against democracy. This is another way that he's able to allow misinformation to be spewed all over the internet. Folks, there's nothing really wrong with misinformation. We misspeak or misspoke all the time, depending on if you're using a platform or you're speaking in person, whether you're citing data or whether you heard something that might be wrong and you're telling somebody else that through conversation. Misinformation is just where you give that information to somebody and it just so happens to be wrong. This happens a lot with data and statistics because you might be referencing a study from, 10 years ago. And then say tomorrow, a new study comes out that's talking about the same thing, but the data's changed, which you might expect. So that would be misinformation. Whereas disinformation is where you are knowingly giving somebody false information to try to change their mind or opinion. Now, I don't care which one somebody's doing. I think both should be allowed to be on a platform because that's the whole purpose of free speech, is to try and seek after the truth and see which arguments are best and which ones are best at winning. So I think you should be allowed to put both, but that's not what the left think. The left will say to your face they believe in free speech, but that's just not the case. Now, with this whole debacle, the left are losing their mind in Twitter, folks. Can you imagine these employees with their buzzed head and their hair color just losing their minds over this? Because again, they're not for free speech and they know the truth will come out through Twitter, that the red wave is coming, folks. The red wave with all the truth and facts is coming, and now they're losing their crap. And now that they're losing their crap, what are they saying? They're calling Elon Musk a racist. This one also comes from Blaze Media and says, while billionaire business tycoon Elon Musk has indicated that he thinks Twitter can serve as a platform that enables people around the world to engage in free speech, Sean King has claimed that Musk's bid to buy Twitter is about white power. Well, here's Sean King's tweet that says, at its root, Elon Musk wanting to purchase Twitter is not about left versus right. It's about white power. The man was raised in apartheid by a white nationalist. He's upset that Twitter won't allow white nationalists to target/harass people. That's his definition of free speech. Now, look, I'm not for racism. I'm not for white nationalism. I'm not for white supremacists or anything of that sort. And I'm not for people going online and targeting people and harassing people. But do those people have a right to go on Twitter and on these platforms and spew their nonsense? Absolutely. Look, Sean King here spewing his nonsense, and I'm okay with it. But that's how this works, folks. If you're on the right, if you're a Republican or conservative, and you say something the left doesn't like, then you don't get free speech. It's only free speech for them. If you were to go online and say a fact, for example, a biological male that says that they're a female is still a biological male, you'll be censored and removed, just like the Babylon Bee, just like the editor-in-chief of the Babylon Bee, just like Charlie Kirk, just like the editor-in-chief for the Federalist. All censored, all accounts blocked because they said something that was an absolute fact. But whenever something goes against the leftist narrative, when something goes against the left's ideas, they don't want you to have free speech. And that's why you have Sean King here saying, oh, well, he's just opening a doorway for white nationalists. He's opening a doorway for everybody. Will there be knuckleheads out there? Absolutely. Sean King being one of them. They're going to use that platform to spew nonsense. But again, everybody has a right to do it. Well, Mr. King goes on to say this, quote, Elon has openly called himself a free speech absolutist and said that he wants to create a space where anything can be said about anyone. That's why white nationalists are giddy today. Here on Twitter and other platforms that I track daily, it's dangerous, King added. And listen, I don't even like the Democratic Party. Well, yeah, because you're further left than the Democrat Party is, which is pretty damn far left. So for me, this isn't about left versus right. No, not at all. It's about how the richest man in the world, a son of apartheid raised by a white nationalist, wants to be sure his speech and the other white men isn't censored. No, this is about everybody's speech not being censored, man. And you just see how this guy's thinking is so mixed up and wrong that he's so focused on these white nationalists that he doesn't even realize that there's other races that use this platform. There's Asian people, black people, Hispanic people, white people. There's people from all around the world, Sean, that use this platform. Not everybody's a white nationalist. This is going to open the doorway for a lot of people to use this platform and use it rightly. If we want free speech, it needs to be free speech for everybody. But our social fabric, our milieu in America has been torn dramatically because these big tech companies being infiltrated by the left that are destroying our democracy and our republic because of what they believe in. And I'm glad Elon Musk is buying Twitter and is hopefully going to fix the thing because I want free speech to thrive for everybody. And if we really believe in it, then even those that we think are evil, even those people that we think are wrong, meaning like these white supremacists, these white nationalist people, whatever you want to call them, if we think they're evil, they still have a right to say what they need to say to spew their nonsense. Well, it ends off here saying Musk has previously said that he grew up in South Africa, but departed when he was 17 years old, in part in order to avoid conscription. He noted that spending 2 years suppressing black people didn't seem like a good utilization of time. And I would like to point out, folks, if he's like a white nationalist, a white supremacist, and a racist, why does he hire thousands upon thousands of black people? I always love this whole thing about the left going, oh, this person's a racist, like Donald Trump. They hire African-American people, they hire black people, Hispanic, all sorts of races in their companies. If they were racist, they wouldn't be hiring these people. Donald Trump has contributed thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of dollars to African-American organizations, Hispanic organizations, and other organizations as well. If they were racist, why in God's name would they be supporting these organizations? It doesn't make sense. But things don't have to make sense for the left. They just go out and shout racism. They just go out and shout white supremacy to people and about things they know nothing about. And that's why we're here. Elon Musk is doing an amazing thing right now for free speech by buying Twitter and hopefully going to revamp the company and turn things around. And a lot of people think so because Twitter's stock is going through the roof at the moment. But, the left will continue to target those that are doing good rather than targeting those that are doing bad. And as always, folks, I want to know, what do you think about Elon Musk purchasing Twitter? Are you for this? Do you think he's a racist for doing so? Or do you think this is a good reshaping for free speech here in America by bringing it back to what it was, by allowing all parties, every individual to have free speech rather than just some? And as always, folks, make sure you like and subscribe to this video. Share this with your friends and family all over social media. And with that being said, I will see you later here on The Bob Brat Show.